Headline out today saying Dodger World Series ace could be going to the Phillies. Oh, let me get to that story in just a sec. Got the quote of the day coming from the general manager of Sasaki from Japan. We'll hear from his GM. Could the Dodgers grab a gold glover from the Padres? Interesting concept there. And is there a chance of Max Scherzer reuniting with the Dodgers? All that and more. It's Dodgers Digest. How you doing? Brad J with you. Hey, 89.6% have not subscribed, 10.4 have. So why don't you do the right thing? Subscribe, like, and turn on the notifications. Let's get down to business. This is out of the Sporting News. Now, you guys know who the Sporting News is, right? So the Sporting News and the Bleacher are sources for the Dodgers. And the Bleacher and the Sporting News have been saying some things that I'm not believing is going to happen. I feel like this is just a made-up story, but here it is anyways. Dodgers 10 million postseason hero predicted to dump LA in favor of the Phillies. Who the heck could they be talking about, my friends? They're talking about Blake Treinen. They're talking about the train. We're not talking about the game. We're not talking about practice. We're talking about the train, okay? And this is from Tim Kelly, all right? Tim Kelly from the Bleacher. And here's what he says. He's predicted that the reliever, Blake Treinen, would sign a deal. So he's predicting that this deal is going to happen with the Philadelphia Phillies. He doesn't throw as hard as he once did. That's true. He's lost a couple of ticks there. But his four-pitch mix, I mean, obviously the sweeper, four-seam, fastball, cutter, and sinker are just phenomenal. Gives you more than enough deception. We all know that. And this is what Kelly wrote. Whether it's as a closer or a setup man, Treinen will be in demand this offseason from teams with World Series aspirations. So what are you trying to say, Tim Kelly of the Bleacher? Is he going to go? Because you're predicting that the reliever, Blake Treinen, would sign a deal with the Philadelphia Phillies. You know what? I'm not buying it. I think that Blake Treinen is a stand-up guy. I think he knows his chances are better with the Dodgers. And look, that always gets me a bunch of people who always send in messages to me and say, it's not about this, it's the business of the game. Sure, it's the business of the game. And also, whatever your goals are, too. Is your goal to win a World Series? Do you have a better chance with the Philadelphia Phillies at winning a World Series than you do with the Dodgers? I don't think so. I mean, yeah, it's close, but the Dodgers are a juggernaut. It's going to continue to happen. So if I am a player and I'm deciding where to go, to me, I want to make the most money, but I want to be on a contender. I don't want to make the most money, play on the White Sox or something like that. I don't want to do that. Would you want to do that? All right. So that's the story. I'm not buying it. I don't think Treinen's going anywhere. I think LA knows how important he is, and they're going to work a deal with him when it comes down to this. All right. So there's all this talk about Sasaki coming to the Dodgers, possibly. They say Dodgers are the front runner to land Sasaki from Japan. And his GM, we have his GM on the quote of the day. And here it is. GM Matsumoto says, we had heard from him that he dreamed of playing in America. After making a comprehensive judgment over the past 5 years, what was he, 18 then at the beginning? We've decided to respect his wish, and we hope he will do his best as a representative of Japan, and we are rooting for him. That is the quote of the day, GM Matsumoto. That is the general manager of Sasaki's team right there, and saying that he's going to be posted. He's definitely going. He's definitely going to be playing in the U.S. Is he going to be playing for the Dodgers? That's the big question. I've already said it. He's going to be a Dodger. You could say, well, he's friends with Yu Darvish, Brad. I get it. He's friends with Yu Darvish. Yu Darvish is like 75. No, he's not really. He's like 36. So if this young dude wants to hang out with Darvish, and Darvish will be done in a few years, why wouldn't you go with Yamamoto, and why wouldn't you go with Shohei that are all younger, and you could have that team together for many years? So there you go. That is that. Could the Dodgers grab a gold glove from the Padres? Oh, man. Could they do this? Who is we're talking about? Ha-Sung Kim is who we're talking about. Yep, short. Yep, that dude right there. And Tim Kelly back at it again for the Bleacher, man. He's just saying all kinds of stuff. I feel like Tim Kelly for the Bleacher gets up in the morning and he writes a bunch of Dodger stories out. And he throws darts at it, and then that's the one he goes with. I mean, if he's right, he's right. Even a broken clock is right twice. He is saying that the Dodgers would sign Padres Ha-Seong Kim this winter. As much as it would burn the fans in San Diego, the Dodgers love players with positional flexibility and have a need in their middle infield. Yes, they do. Kim would be a perfect fit. Can you imagine Kim next to Mookie? That would be pretty stellar. And how cool would this be to get him and just rub it in the face of the Padres? I actually love that too as well. And I didn't used to feel this angst towards the Padres for many years, going to college in San Diego. I was like, Padres are just indifferent to them. But nowadays, yeah, it's almost like that giant hatred it comes out to at some point, right? I'm not sure. But what do you think about that? Ha-Seong Kim being the guy, and this is obviously not getting Adames if you're going to step to this one. And the Adames stuff has kind of cooled down a little bit. So there you go. Do you think that's something that they would go with? It's a good idea. I like the idea. I think it's a good idea. I almost like it better than the Adames idea. And the Adames idea, one of the biggest reasons I would like that trade, or not that trade, that signing to go down would be because Adames, can hit over 30 home runs in a season. The Dodgers could use an extra 30 home runs in a season. The only bummer is he strikes out. And a Dodger team that doesn't strike out a lot, that would be glaring to have someone who does strike out a lot. Could the Dodgers fix that? Their hitting coaches are pretty damn good at getting these guys to lay off. And, we get the most walks in baseball, too, as well. So there you go. Is that a good decision? I think it's better than the Adames. We'll see. Son Kim, I'd like to see him come over. I think that would be good, and that would burn the Padres. That would definitely burn the Padres. Can you imagine if you got Kim and Soto? How would those games be against the Pods after that? All right. Another story for you. This one comes from the Sporting News, and look, it's a slow day in baseball right now. So I'm just covering other stories that people are doing and saying, are these stories crap or are they actual have some traction to them? All right. So the latest one is Dodgers urged is the term they're using to reunite with projected $15 million superstar to add pitching. You know who that is. That's Max Scherzer, Mad Max right there. Scherzer back on the Dodger team. Didn't we have him for like part of a season? That was when we had him, right? All right, well, here's this. L.A. full of star power, yada, yada, yada. Because of this, Bleacher Report's Kerry Miller. So another one off Bleacher. This is going to be Kerry Miller this time. That to Los Angeles to look into a reunion. So thank you, Kerry, letting L.A. know they need to look into a future Hall of Famer, Max Scherzer. I don't think Dodgers are into that. I don't know. Spending $15 million is a drop in the bucket. Yeah, but you got to make your decisions correctly. You don't just, I could just drop that money in there. Doesn't matter, right? So one more healthy pitcher would help. Look, what did we do? 30 pitchers started different games for the Dodgers this last season. So I don't think you can have too much pitching, but I just don't know. Max getting long in the tooth. It's a 1-year deal, Max, but I didn't mean to pun that, but $15 million, I don't know. That's what we're thinking of. All right, well, that's going to do it. Dodger Digest, Brad J with you. Got to go. Hey, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and turn on those notifications, man. We got it going. Fastest growing Dodger YouTube page in the history of YouTube. I just made that up, but there you go. That's going to do it. Remember, always think blue.